right, so we're gonna go learn about how to write equations of lines in special cases. So these are vertical and horizontal lines. So a vertical line, remember a vertical line is crossing over the x-axis. So we write that in the form x is equal to a, where a represents the line's x-intercept. So remember again, the x-intercept is where the line crosses the x-axis. So when you're looking, because the vertical line does cross the x-axis, we know it has to be in the form x equals. So for example, in this case, the equation would be x equals 3 because it is crossing the x-axis at 3. Okay? Now, a horizontal line, remember, is a line that is going to cross over the y-axis. And so it's written in the form y equals a, where a represents the line's y-intercept. So we want to figure out, well, where does this line cross the y-axis? It crosses that at 1. So this equation is y is equal to 1. Okay. So here's a way to kind of help you remember between the difference between the horizontal and the vertical lines. So here you have what we call Hoy-Bucks. Okay? So this is what it stands for. The H is a horizontal line, and a horizontal line has a 0 slope, and it's an y equals equation. So if you see a horizontal line, you know that that line has a 0 slope, and it's a y equal equation. Bucks stands for the vertical line has an undefined slope, and that's an x equals equation. So if you remember Hoy-Bucks, it's kind of a thing to help you remember how to write the equations of a line when you see a vertical or horizontal line. So if we look at example 1, this is an example of a vertical line. So we know this, and it crosses the x-axis, so we know it has to be x equals, and the x-intercept would be -2. So the equation of that line is x equals -2. Number 2, it's an example of a horizontal line. So we know that's a y equals, and where does it cross the y-axis? At +3. So that equation of the line is y equals +3. Question 3, this is also a horizontal line. So horizontal means it's a y equals equation. And you can remember that because it's crossing the y-axis. Where is it crossing the y-axis? 1, 2, right here at -5. So that equation is y equals -5. Number 4 is a vertical line. So a vertical line has an equation of x equals. It's crossing the x-axis right here. It crosses the x-axis at 1, 2, 3, +4. So that equation is x is equal to 4. And then for number 5, now this one might be a little tricky because you don't see a line, but really the line is here. Okay, so we see that we know that that is a vertical line. So again, that's going to be at x equals, but where is it crossing the x-axis? It's crossing the x-axis at the origin, where it's 0. So that's the x-intercept. So that's the equation x equals 0. So as long as we know that the vertical line, the y-axis actually has an equation of x equals 0. And then number 6, we see that it's a horizontal line. Horizontal lines cross the y-axis. So we get y is equal to, now where does it cross the y-axis? Here at +2. And so there's your equation. Y is equal to 2. Okay, and that's it.